What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Afterburner with the In the Dome fellows. I'm Mike, or he's Michael. I'm Jordan. Woo! That was a barn burner.
Hey, did they get to 30 shots at least?
The boys made a game of it. Didn't look promising there off the hop, but whew, what a finish!
Are you referring to what a finish with that awesome power play that we saw?
You know, having your hottest goal scorer sit on the bench for the final 2 minutes of a 4-on-3 overtime power play and the shootout. I mean, that's coaching 101, right?
It kind of really put a what? Because like you said, they fought back. You know what? They claw back into the game again. You're feeling good. Vibes are good. And then, man, that power play is just like a...
Hey, I don't know. I just love watching Huberdeau stand in one spot and stick handle.
Why can't they just move the puck? Just move the puck, guys. Just move the puck. Anyways.
The Buffalo PP sure knows how to move it around. Setting up.
Yeah, you got that Tage option, absolute rocket. I don't know. That power play. The power play has been the bane of our existence for many years, and it continues this year, eh?
I kind of thought we were over this with Daryl Sutter getting fired, with not having the right guys in the shootout.
Yeah.
Not having the right guys on the power play. Like, come on. Where's Matt Coronato? He's your hottest goal scorer. He's tied for the team league now in half the amount of games.
He now has 5 goals to lead the team along with Huberdeau and Kadri, I believe. But I mean, he hit the post, had a few really good scoring chances. Probably your most dangerous player.
He looks good. He looks good.
He looks great. He looks awesome. But most dangerous player, you'd like to see him in the shootout. You'd like to see him in the power play in overtime. The shootout's a bit of a crapshoot for the most part. But
is it though?
Like Kuzmenko.
Can you ever go wrong with just select your hottest hands?
Yeah, just pick the guys who are going, right?
Nobody will ever complain about that. Ever. Instead, we got to come here and fucking.
I mean, I do see in the chats people saying like good power plays need superstars. We don't have any. I don't know. You look down the stretch last year when the Flames power play was what, top 5 in the league for a good month after they acquired Kuzmenko. It was rolling.
Yeah. It was awesome to finish out the season.
So I have a hard time just like looking at the personnel and being like, yeah, it's all personnel. When I mean, yeah, Kuzmenko hasn't been very dangerous. You know what Huberdeau's doing, but I think there's the potential there to improve a little bit on the power play.
We're here to break down the Buffalo Sabres versus the Calgary Flames. We've been saying this, entertain us while losing. But fuck, it's so hard to not get so angry when it's right there for the taking and a couple other personnel decisions you think would have gave these guys a better shot.
It's so funny. My range of emotions go from like, we're losing. I'm like,
yes,
sweet,
this is good. Blow us out.
Good tank. They come back. I'm like right back in it. I'm like, yeah. Let's go, baby. Then they blow it, and I'm like, I can't believe we lost, and I'm pissed. It seems here's the common denominator. I guess I'm pissed no matter what happens. That's probably more.
No matter what happens,
probably more of a me problem than anything, eh?
No matter what happens, you're unhappy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's break down this game. Matthew Coronato, what a week, eh? He's having. He's got peas on his head, but don't call him a pea head.
Bruce Lee's on his head, but don't call him a Lee head. Dude, he looks great. Looks excellent. Was he the most dangerous player on the ice tonight? Easily for the Flames.
Like, the thing that I love about Matt Coronato is, and it's the opposite with Huberdeau, is the one-on-one battles. And even that, we'll get to these goals, but you look at the goal that he scored, you look at the 2-on-1 he set up earlier, even same thing in Montreal. He battles his ass off to get the puck in the first place and then to create space for himself. He's always battling. There's that in overtime, that one shift where Buffalo had it for the majority of the start of the OT, and then Coronato in his own end just battles that guy, gets the puck back, Flames get possession. That's what I love to see. And I think that's where one of my biggest frustrations with Huberdeau is the guy's got no battle. No battle. You always see like these little corner one-on-one things. It's just like, meh, nothing. Biggest issue. Yeah, Vladar gets the start.
That's an issue maybe with a lot of guys. Some nights it takes them a while to get to get engaged into the game. You're kind of seeing that, and that is kind of frustrating for a team that, even though they are rebuilding, still has a lot of better guys. Come out strong, come out hard, battle hard. And I know it's the last game of a road trip, but this has been a trend we've kind of been seeing lately. These poor starts.
Yeah, Vladar gets a start. It's not the first shot technically, but it's the first little shot, then rebound. Flames go down early again. It's another early goal. These guys seem to be behind the 8 ball almost every game now. That I know the broadcast threw that stat up in the first period. They're scoring most of their goals in the third period. This was something that Sutter came in, wanted to address. He did. When Sutter was at the helm, the team always was ready to start. And I think notoriously we were known for having better first periods than anything else. Couldn't score in the third periods. What do you think this is? Is this a coaching thing? Is it a mindset thing, leadership thing? Why is this team always behind the 8 ball?
Well, it's probably a bit of both. It's probably a bit of all of those things, right? Because what is starting on time? It's generally preparation. The coach is preparing you. You're ready to go from the drop of the puck. I mean, also is probably just the fact that, even though this team is like an okay NHL team, a lot of nights, I think, especially on the back end, their lack of depth gets exposed and lack of talent gets exposed. It's just maybe they're probably just not really a good team. Like, even though we have picked up points in 3 straight games, in the last 10 games, what are they like? They're definitely like bottom 3 in terms of actual goals scored and goals allowed. So it's probably a mix of all of those things. I don't know. I don't think we were pretty on board with the first 5, 6, 7 games. The message Huska was preaching seemed to be resonating with the guys. They seem
and then all the coaching and management decisions was backing up all the preaching, right?
Yeah, but since then it's kind of like taken a bit of a shift. You've seen them like mess with the lines a bit, kind of mess with, guys are getting benched all the time. I don't know. And you've kind of see them shift away from just like that simple mentality. And I don't think some of the lineup decisions and some of the way they've been handling players lately have necessarily lent themselves to all being on the same page at the same time. And they're battling back in games, but you see that at the drop of the puck. And you saw it again tonight. Like Postgame was benched again. I don't know. It's probably just a combination of them not being a great team, but also I think there's maybe some mistakes being made from the coaching staff a little bit.
Well, there's more line juggling to start this game. He has Huberdeau, Postgame back at center, centering Huberdeau and Kuzmenko to start the game anyways. Zari with Kadri and Sharangovich. I think perhaps there's also an argument that all this inconsistency within the lines from night to night is also maybe part of why they're off to a slow start each time. They're trying to find that chemistry each and every game. There's not a lot of practice time in between these things. So I don't know. I feel like maybe that's part of it too. Kind of harkens back to what you're saying is maybe the head coach management do a little too much tinkering.
Yeah, a little,
especially in year one of a rebuild. Like, just let these boys play. Just set some lineup straight and let them roll.
Yeah, and that's the easiest way to get into a groove for a lot of these guys is just let me play some consistent line mates for a few games. And I mean, I kind of understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to get some guys going because the offense has been pretty much anemic the last 10 games for sure. I know Huberdeau gets an assist tonight, but him and Kuzmenko have not been producing as of late. Kadri's been kind of hit or miss. You're not really scoring a lot 5-on-5. So I get he's maybe kind of looking for some juice, but you would kind of like to just see him have some consistency.
It was nice to see Coronato sticking with the same lineup.
Oh yeah,
man, he just looks so good right now,
dude. He looks so good. He's got a motor. He's got a motor on his ass.
He's a buzzsaw. He just battles his ass off.
He battles his ass off. Can you imagine our offense if he was just sitting in the minors right now? They have like 1 goal in the last 4 games.
Yeah, he's had 3 of the whatever it's been, 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think in the last 5 games, Coleman and Coronato lead the team in points with 4. Obviously, Coronato has 3 goals. But again, last 5 games, point totals, like Huberdeau only has a few, Backlund only has a few. So you're looking for something at 5-on-5 to kickstart the offense. And again, it usually comes back to this fact that, like people are saying in the chat, there isn't a lot of offensive weapons on this team. But you got to get guys like Kuzi going. I don't know what you do to get Huberdeau going. I guess he looked okay tonight sometimes, but the offense hasn't really been there lately.
So first period, it's mostly Buffalo early on. Zach Benson scores 1 minute and 11 seconds in. Tage Thompson scores a beauty power play goal. You're down 2-0. Coronato on PP1. That's nice to see.
Nice to see. If they could just maybe like move the fucking puck around a little bit, and maybe the best comment I saw today was somebody was like, Huberdeau took that no movement clause too seriously on the power play because he's just standing there all the time. I don't understand why the Flames power play has to be so static. I don't understand that.
Well, I don't like at this point. Do you even need Huberdeau on the power play?
What else do you do with the guy?
Like if you're in the chat, are you seeing we're seeing like Huberdeau just seems like whenever he gets the puck on a stick, stops moving his feet and just stick handles and then looks for a pass on the perimeter. That's basically all I see on the power play.
It was a tough first period too. Like again, 11 a.m. Dude, these 11 a.m. These starts should be banned. I know they like this in America, but in Canada, I don't know. I hate this.
Well, at least the Flames record.
The guys hate this.
At least the Flames record with matinee games has been better the last 3 seasons. It was like terrible there for the longest time.
They always seem to do okay against Buffalo, do they? I don't know. It's always a battle of. I call Buffalo Calgary games the battle of the teams who created the Florida Panthers Stanley Cup championship. So it's always fun to see them go head to head.
Could you imagine Buffalo right now if they still had Eichel and Reinhart?
Imagine us if we still had Chuck and Bennett.
Oh yeah.
That would have been a great game today. That would have been like a Stanley Cup final game if they still had Eichel and Reinhart and we still had Bennett and Kachuk. But it was a bit of a snooze fest to start. Vladar was pretty sharp in the first period, eh?
Yep. Afterburner is brought to you by Richmond's Pub. November football VIP experience, the grand prize coming December 9th. Bengals at Cowboys, tickets, flights, hotel, and $500 in spending cash. You want to enter to win that? How sweet would that be?
That'd be sick. Where are you going? Game. Cincinnati? Where are we going?
Bengals at Cowboys.
Oh, in Dallas. Nice.
Dallas. So how to enter every Thursday night during Thursday Night Football. One name is selected. Then at the end of the month, all qualifiers go into the grand prize draw. Need to be in attendance to win. Head down to Richmond's Pub to enter.
Nice.
All right, Matt. Second period. The guys came out much better.
Yeah.
They were pushing the pace, pushing the play. Wasn't that one thing that, like, I mentioned this earlier in the afterburner here, when Daryl came in and I always wanted to address the starts, and this was always our thing, was like, you need to dictate the pace of the game to the other team first. You don't want to be responding to whatever they're bringing on a nightly basis. But man, that second period, they came out flying.
Yeah, the pace was, that's hopefully the message in the intermission is like, pick up the pace, boys. Holy shit. I know it's 11 a.m. or whatever it is, but let's get going. And like, again, for maybe shitting on Huska and the staff a little bit for their starts, that has been one thing the Flames have, even harkening back to last year, been decently okay at, is when it looks like they're going to get shit canned in a game, it's like, oh, it's 2-0. It's like, we can mail this in. They do tend to stay in games. They do kind of tend to drag teams into a close game. It looked like Buffalo. You know, I thought they had trouble with Buffalo's speed in the first period, but like you're saying, come out flying to start the second. Buffalo could have taken that game over, but the Flames did something they've been doing well, even against Boston too. Like, it looks like you're gonna get shit canned, and the Flames kind of drag you into a bit of a boring ass game and keep it close and keep it within striking distance. And obviously they had a tremendous third period too. So
they came off hot in the second, drew a penalty right away. You're like, oh shit, they're gonna get something going here. And then again, Huberdeau on that power play specifically was just terrible. A couple turnovers. It's just like, what do you say? So many times the play just dies on Huberdeau's stick. And I know we focus on him a lot, but dude, the guy makes $10.5 million. It's like he shouldn't have a negative impact on your power play in like making $10.5 million. It's just like, we'll be talking about this until it's fixed, essentially.
So for what, 6 more years? Oh
We
boy,
only
it's gonna
have
be a
how
long
many more
six and a
games?
half
400,
years,
only
bro.
450 bucks.
Woo.
Remember when it was Lucic was the countdown timer?
Oh yeah, dude, that one felt like forever. That's nothing compared to this.
This is like,
But they gotta,
five.
dude, they gotta fix those entries on the. That's the biggest thing. It's not like once they get it in. I don't understand the strategy once they're actually established in the zone, because it seems to be like, we're just gonna stand around and maybe lob some point shots and hope for tips. With the skill that you have on the ice, I feel like you could do a little bit better than that. But the entries is what's killing them right now. You know, all you really have to do is stand up on the strong side, and you've got them. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, but the entries really need to be addressed.
That Coronato generates a 2-on-1. I think we have the clip of this. This is kind of when the Flames started to really press late through into the second period. I thought he had an unbelievable shit. There's a battle in front of the Sabres bench, and he comes out with the puck, lugs it down the ice, cuts into the center a little bit, doesn't dish, sets him up for a shot, gets a shot off. That was close.
Well, dude, he's like,
he'll get it out on the far
Here it is.
side.
Here. There's a little one-on-one battle right there.
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah, so dangerous. But again, that danger and that skill comes from what's he doing? He's winning a battle right there.
He's fucking working his balls off.
He works his. We call him. What did we call him? A lawnmower, or what did you call him? A buzzsaw.
He's a buzzsaw.
Yeah. This is something that kind of harkens back to my love for players like Andrew Mangiapane, is like these guys who are buzzsaws, right? He's small, but he's quick. He's built like a freaking ox, and you're just going to cut through. You're cutting through bodies like butter, man. And that's what you're seeing with Coronato. And that's the one thing I don't understand when people say like, oh, like before he was called back up again, people are, he needs to work on his strength and his skating. I was like, I think that guy's strong. I think he's strong on the puck. I think he's great on the boards. He's winning battles. He's exactly what this team needs. And he's proven to be that last 5 games for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where a lot of his play away from the play and the puck, if you just watch him just battling, and he's usually coming out on top on a lot of those battles. Love to see it. This was my favorite stretch of the game. This monster penalty kill that we had. Anderson breaks a stick and the ref takes it away from him. Then Bahl is on the ice for 3 minutes and 48 seconds. The guy is gassed. What a penalty kill this was. You always talk about momentum in games.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, Coronato scores a beauty to make it 2-1. What'd you think of this penalty kill, man? I just sit there. And I just, oh fuck, I love this shit, man.
There's nothing better than watching like a balls to the wall penalty kill, right?
I'm just watching Bahl. He's keeled over, dude. He was on there. They killed the entire thing, and then he couldn't get off. Yeah, it was amazing.
He almost played. I think he played like, I don't know how much Lomberg ended up playing. Pospisil was benched too, but I think Lomberg played maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 minutes or something. Like Bahl played half amount of his total minutes in that shift. It was insane. And then I've never seen that before though, when like the knob of a stick breaks, because it was just
what happened. Yeah, I never saw the replay.
The knob broke, and it was kind of weird because like, I guess the rule would still be that you can't.
No, you can't. That's dangerous.
Stick, but like, I don't know. It was weird. The ref like snatched it away. That was
because the guys calling the game, they didn't really know what happened. They thought he dropped the stick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if he dropped a stick, why isn't he going to get it? And then the ref's holding it, and you're just like, yeah, it must be broken. But
yeah, that was crazy. Bahl, dude.
I just love seeing guys go to war like that, just battling through. Like, the guy couldn't even fucking, his legs were so done.
And then Rass, he blocks that wide open. That was going in. It goes right off his ass. And then you can just see him back on the bench. He's just like, that's a warrior right there. That's what you like to see. I'll take that over a skilled play any day.
Yeah, Coronato scores shortly after at the 17:44 mark. We got that clip too. Again, watch him battle. Look at him battle. He knows where to go. Goal scorers know where to go.
Yeah, that's a goal scorer's goal right there.
Yeah, it's just a beauty goal right there.
He read that play beautifully.
Yeah. A little bit of controversy on this call. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Have you?
Where there was penalties? No, I thought it was going to come back. Generally, whenever there's a question about the Flames,
not this year.
Yeah, it's been the opposite. It's been crazy.
We're like 3 for 3 on these. Yeah.
Yeah, usually the juju is if it's even in question, it's going to be no goal for the Flames. Fuck the Flames, screw the Flames. League's been screwing us forever. But I've never seen this. In coincidental
never seen
minors
either.
and a goal standing.
No. So, but I guess if you look back at the replay, because there's a one shot from behind the net where you can see everybody on the ice, and I don't think the ref quite had his hand up. It was like almost simultaneously to when Coronato tips it in. So I think they made the right call there.
Yeah, they absolutely made the right call.
So the Flames make a game of it again.
Just 3 in a row, man.
3 OTs? Yeah. Back to back OTs. Third period, I thought, again, off to a good start. That second shift, Sharangovich came down the ice. I thought he was about to score a highlight reel goal. But then from there onwards, like the Flames were just mounting.
Yeah, they finally were able to establish a forecheck and get some zone time. I think high danger chances were 5-1 for the Flames in the third period.
Just in the third?
Just in the third, yeah. Scoring chances 12-5, high danger is 5-1. Some really great sequences, even though Huska shortened the bench and decided to sit Pospisil for some reason. They were really determined.
Pospisil is the whipping boy again. We talked about this in our last episode, which is the fourth line right now. Instead of your traditional, that's your energy line. You're on is this a 3-game road trip and they're back at home?
Yeah. You're
in the tail end of a road trip. A lot of coaches will elect to roll lines and make sure the fourth line's getting lots of ice time, getting energy into the game. But Huska just keeps on using that fourth line as a demotion tactic. Was it the penalty? Like, what did Pospisil gets the one penalty that leads to the
it was a total fluke though. Like what's he supposed to do on that play?
But other than that, what warranted the benching for Pospisil?
I couldn't find anything egregious in his game. I mean, he wasn't necessarily bringing his regular energy, but I don't know. It seemed like Huska kind of does this as kind of like this. I don't know if it's arbitrary. It seems a little arbitrary to myself, where he just picks a guy and you're sitting for the third.
He seems to be the whipping boy currently. Yeah. This is like how many games straight?
You've seen him bench twice this year now. And I mean, I don't really understand it. He's a guy that you need in games like this. Brings the energy. So I don't know. I hope there's some question from somebody as to why he was maybe riding pine, because I didn't see any reason to do that. Like, think about how effective Pospisil was for this team last year. They need him. And I hope that's the message to him. You hope it's not just Sam Bennett, we're benching you and not telling you why we're benching you move. And the message is like, we need you to be on top of your game because we need you to win games because you're an important part of this team, especially moving forward. So you hope the message is clear to Pospisil and it's not just some mind game bullshit. You're sitting.
Okay, if you run a restaurant, you're too busy for this ad, Square. You're thinking about how to get more orders flowing and new locations opening. You need to get more customers and keep them coming back. So really, you're already thinking about Square, because Square Restaurant Tech helps more than 400,000 restaurants do all those things and more. So when you're thinking about a restaurant, think bigger and think Square. Maximize sales by making it easy to process orders in-house with a kiosk or a mobile POS for table side orders and online ordering for takeout and delivery. Go to squareup.com/ca/en/campaign/big-in-RST to see why Square is big in restaurants. We got the back on goal here. What we were like, emotionally speaking, I know you're on Team Tank. We flip back and forth. It's so hard as a fan because you're in these games and you're so emotionally invested in this team, just like since friggin' like for decades. When Backlund scores, you not juiced?
Oh, when Backlund scores, they're always juiced, man. And he's always juiced. And that was a great shift too. You could feel them building all period, and that was a hell yeah moment.
Huberdeau has a nice dish. I'll give him that to Backlund here. Found him in the open slot. The goalie was way out of his net. Great shot by Backlund.
He has a hell of a shot.
You're sitting, you're like, oh shit. Looks like we might have a game on our hands here. Going to a shoot overtime. I'm always the same for overtime. I'm like, what kind of who's he putting out for this? And this is my thing is like, keep doing what has worked. If you're a coach, it's the easiest way to coach, Plus, it's the easiest message to send to your players. So Coronato scores 7 seconds in, such a franchise record for quickest overtime goal ever.
I just saw this comment, and yeah, I agree. I agree, Mitch.
Yeah, why doesn't he start the next two? It makes absolutely no sense. And then, like anybody who's played hockey long enough under any coach ever doesn't understand this. Like as a player, you're always like, okay, I just scored 7 seconds in overtime. Why wouldn't I start again? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, I guess I'll get my chance again, but just both games. Well, go with what worked. And that is your hottest. That's your hottest hand right now. Matthew Coronato is the hottest goal scorer on this team currently. Now tied for league or team lead in goals. What are we doing? I hate this.
I hate it too. I hate the overtime decisions have boggled my mind.
Because not only does it like you're not making the right decision, A, and B, like you're fucking with the minds of these players. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense because you're not getting rewarded for if you're a player, right? Like, oh, he did good. It's kind of like Tyson Barrie was like out of the lineup today after scoring a goal in Boston. It's kind of like we've seen some of these weird decisions where it's like do good, don't get rewarded for it, and actually you get maybe kind of like punished for some odd reason. I didn't get why Coronato didn't get the first shift against Boston. I thought all of the Boston OT lineup decisions were ridiculous. I think he got one shift in the Boston overtime, almost scored, by the way. And then again, like you said, the guy that he's absolutely on fire. He's not going to play. He's not going to see a minute of the 4-on-3 power play. Then he doesn't shoot in the shootout either.
Fuck.
What's the thought process behind that? I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. And it never seems to work.
Galaxy
Have you noticed it never seems to work?
It never works. It never works. These like Nick Ritchie in the shootout, galaxy brain thinking too much moves never really work. Just
that's what it is. Anyone who's played hockey long enough knows even the players want to see the guy with the hottest stick first in the shootout. No one's ever going to complain. It's like, yeah, this guy is
hot.
This guy's on fire right now.
Like, I mean, even
what was it, Coleman after the Montreal game? It's like, yeah, the kid can shoot the puck.
Yeah.
Like he knows the guy has a natural goal scoring ability, which this team obviously lacks. Let's not utilize.
So let's put Kirkland in. And I get Kirkland. I get Kirkland got the shootout winner. I get what you're doing there, but
yeah, but that was like fucking a month ago. At the same
time, that's how long ago? And I mean, how much?
He's already been scratched since then.
Exactly, he's been a healthy scratch. So, and Kuzmenko's been cold, like ice cold. Yegor hasn't been particularly dangerous as of late, outside of a few little spurts. So.
I don't mind having Yegor in there, but your first shooter should be Matt Coronato. It's actually a no-brainer. Just really bothers me.
It's a no-brainer, all right.
Fucking bothers me, man.
It's insane.
So, like you said, there's a late 4-on-3 in overtime, and you're just like, we traditionally suck at power plays on the overtime. Not getting too excited. Then you look and you're like, oh fuck, Huberdeau instead of Coronato. And they don't really do anything, do they?
Did they get a shot? I think they maybe had one shot attempt there. It's
just frustrating, man. This is really frustrating. Yeah. Because it's your year one of rebounds. Play the kids anyways. Yeah. And then especially play the kids when they've been your best players and your hottest goal scorers.
And they need to be in those situations, which is another development thing.
Exactly.
Right? Like even Coronato not being on the power play there. Why isn't Ziri on the power play? Why? This is the moment for these kids to be in high pressure situations. And I think the other thing that just bothers me, like from a player perspective, you've battled back into that game. The guys who battled you back into that game, I think, deserve the chance to be able to finish that game too, right? Like now you're overcoaching again. You're not giving the guys who got you back into that game really a chance to finish what they started there.
And like I said, if you're Matt Coronato, and no one will ever admit to this, but I've played hockey. I know how it works. He's going to sit there after the game on the airplane ride back to Calgary, like, why wasn't I picked?
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do? It starts fucking with your mind. And the only reason why he didn't get picked because his coach is an idiot. So hopefully he friggin' understands that, or someone explains that to him. I guess it's really, it bothers me a lot.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just the standard thing that maybe bugs me too, because I was critical of his decisions to put Kadri and Huberdeau out against Boston in overtime, and got a little bit of pushback on the Kadri thing. But it's like Kadri has not been very good in overtime. He had his decision making. And this isn't just the shit on Kadri or Huberdeau or whatever, just to make the point of this kind of standard being not a standard, really, because how many offensive zone stick infractions has Kadri taken versus how many Postgame taken this year? Postgame getting sat.
Well, putting him with Huberdeau makes no sense because Kadri is going to be taking risks. You know that.
So that for sure.
If it's not going to end up in the back of the net, you're probably coming back, 2-on-1. You're going to need someone to get back check. Huberdeau's got no speed to back check. So I don't understand why they put in slow, lazy Huberdeau, Floater McGee with Kadri when you're going to need likely to play some defense and have some guys back checking.
Yeah, I think just if the message this year is, which apparently it has been from training camp, like you're not going to just be given your spot, blah, blah, blah. The standard's the same, and it's being applied preferentially to veteran players compared to younger players, then it just doesn't make any sense to me. So,
and it's frustrating as all.
Yeah, it's frustrating as a fan because all you really want to do is see these kids play. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Huberdeau in overtime as a fan. I don't care. I want to see a kid play.
I don't even want to see him on the power play. Just frustrating.
What about the penalty kill?
Fuck. Don't even.
And he was fine. He was okay tonight. I'm not going to, but still, it's just the point being you'd rather see a kid there. A kid who's performing.
I'm slowly falling, maybe not even slowly, falling in love with Kevin Bahl.
Slowly?
He's been awesome. I know he came over in, was this the Markstrom trade?
Yeah, it's the Jacob Markstrom trade from New Jersey.
And he's only how old?
24? When's his birthday?
I don't know when his birthday is.
Wish him a happy birthday. Kevin Bahl's 24. He just turned 24 in June, so fresh 24.
I think he's been great. He plays physical. He's big, plays mean. He's got a mean edge to him. Pretty sound defensively. Any underlines or anything with Kevin Bahl you want to share? Or what have you liked this guy as much as me?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I think FlamesNation put out like a little tweet the other day, just saying like who's been the biggest surprise of the season, and I think resoundingly across the board, like pleasant surprises. Most fans have really appreciated what Kevin Bahl is doing. And you saw it again tonight. He just makes so many good plays. He uses his size because we've seen a lot of like big defensemen who aren't particularly good defensively, but he was doing it again tonight on that penalty kill. He broke up a few rushes just using his stick. And that's one thing that's just almost impossible as a hockey player to play against is when a guy is big and has that long reach and he's playing like that in the boards and uses his body and stick the way that Kevin Bahl does. He's been great, dude.
Yep.
He's been awesome. I think in terms of defensemen, his underlying numbers have been pretty solid. Possession-wise, maybe him and Anderson are facing they're facing the toughest competition all the time. So that probably drags him down a little bit in terms of his underlying numbers. But even just like points-wise, I think this is maybe more a reflection on the scoring woes of the Flames. I think he's like third or something in 5-on-5 points amongst all Flames, which is insane.
Yeah. Scott says Bahl is good for the rebuild. Eats minutes is tough. Doesn't help the team gets points.
Yep, exactly. And he's only going to get better, right? Like 24, he hasn't played very much at all. Like, did he play? Has he played a full season yet? Probably not. Perfect rebuild guy. I guess he played 82 last year, but yeah, I've been incredibly impressed with him. I've been impressed with him, and I've been impressed with Braden Pachal too. I think those are two of the guys who have stood out the most as pleasant surprises. Pahal's been great.
Yeah, we got some awesome, Braden Pachal stats here. 5-on-5. I'll let you rip through these.
Yeah, this was from the other day, but I was just making the case for him to be the most pleasant surprise on the Flames this year. He's third behind only Tyson Barrie and Kuzmenko in terms of expected goals for percentage of 5-on-5. fourth in possession behind only Barrie, Sharangovich, Kuzmenko. Second in scoring chances for percentage behind only Tyson Barrie. And he's second in hits behind only Pospisil. He's been really physical. He's been smart in his own zone. I know he's playing maybe if he's third pairing minutes, kind of sheltered, but he's really nailed down that 5-6 spot that was a big question coming in. And we got him for free, dude. For free.
Where'd we get him again?
We got him off of waivers from Vegas last year.
Nice.
So Pachal and Bahl, you absolutely love to see it.
I'm a big fan of players that play with edge, and this guy's got so much edge to his game.
We're big fans of physical defense, physical, mean defensemen.
Bean gets in tonight. I know you've liked his game. That means Barrie comes out. It's interesting, though, like throwing up these Pachal stats, and Barrie is leading in the team in a lot of these categories, or he's right up there in top 3, too.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, I guess, end of a road trip. You maybe, I don't know. I thought Barrie's been good enough to, I don't know.
Because first 5 games in the season, everyone's like, "Oh fuck, Barrie's a hot mess." But it seems like he's slowly gotten better as the season's gone on. Here, his numbers are certainly there. Scores his first goal. But
yeah, he's been good. I didn't really understand that. I wanted to see Bean back in, but I don't know. It seemed like an odd place to take Barrie out when he's kind of just getting on a roll, playing well. Thought Bean struggled a bit tonight, but he hasn't played a ton, so that's probably kind of be expected.
All right, Bet365. It's the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app today. Use code FNSpaceBonus, all caps, or is it just Nation? Maybe it's just Nation. When you sign up, so whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Yasmin, can we confirm what the code is?
I think it's Nation. Yeah, it's Nation.
Just Nation?
Right there up in the corner.
All right. I got it right there.
Yeah.
I got an anytime goal scorer picked for tonight. You're going to love this one.
I am.
This is how I bet. I always bet on the Oilers because if I win the bet, that means I won the bet. And if I don't, then I'm happy.
Yeah, you've
Zach
got
Hyman's been off to a slow start. He's getting a lot of heat. He's scored a couple goals as of late, but $10. He's got a 165, whatever plus. I don't know how these odd things work really, but if you bet $10, it makes you a $26.50 anytime goal scorer. Zach Hyman. They're playing the Canucks tonight. Hopefully the Canucks kick their ass.
Hopefully your bet is, well, I guess you win either way, but hopefully Hyman scores and the Canucks absolutely destroy them, eh?
That would be nice.
That'd be sweet.
Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Okay, man, we're 15 games into the season. I'm going to pull up the standings here, but where do you see this team finishing? Obviously, we're off to a hot start, coming down to earth as of late, but now they go on this 3-game road trip. They pick up, 4 out of a possible 6 points.
Yeah.
Matthew Coronato have a hell of a week. What are we?
I don't know. It's hard to tell because it really has been like a tale of two teams because the hot start, a lot of people was like, oh, they're just like shooting percentage bender, PDO bender. But I mean, their underlying numbers were very good. They were actually playing really good hockey, right? Like it wasn't like, oh, they're just fluking out and this and that. But the last 10 games, like even though we just picked up 4 or 6, like I think they're 24th in terms of points percentage over the last 10 games. They've had a really hard time scoring goals. I think only Anaheim and Boston have scored fewer goals in the last 10 games. Goals allowed defensively, even though the goaltending has been really solid this year, they're still struggling letting goals in last 10 games. So it has kind of been, what is it like? It's like on, Homer Simpson when he's like loses all that weight and he's like comes in and he's like standing like this and he looks skinny and Marge's like, oh wow. And then you show behind him and he's got like all the fat like tied up behind him. It's kind of been like that. It's kind of been like the Flames season is kind of like Elliot Friedman's hair is like his bald spot. It's like
Yeah, you can use any camera angle you want, but
Yeah.
Sure enough, one of them's eventually going to get you.
Exactly. You see that front, like, oh, that looks good. Like, oh, sweet. And then it's like a turn. It's like, whoa, big bald spot, big bald spot there. So I don't know. I still feel like they're probably in a same range to where they finished last year. They're playing close games. They're not going to win a ton. They're keeping, and again, they're doing a good job against teams that you think would be better than them. I didn't think Buffalo looked very good tonight. I thought Boston didn't look very good. I didn't think New Jersey looked very good. So they're kind of making some of these teams that you think would be good look not great. So I still think we're probably going to be, you just pray to God that they lose enough games to finish in the top 10, in the bottom 10.
Okay, well, give me a
so well that they're like legit in the playoffs and like good. We just don't want to be giving away like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pick. I think if you make the playoffs and you have to give away 16 or something, it's not okay, but it wouldn't be like I'm going to go jump off a cliff. But dude, if you're giving away 11th or 12th to Montreal, that's going to be really hard. And that's why I've been kind of blackpilling lately, just thinking about like every time I see a point go on the board, I'm just like, I don't want to give away 11th or 12th or 13th. So,
but they're
bottom 10.
The top wild card position currently. The thing is, it's so early in the season. We're not even a quarter of the way into the season yet. So we'll talk more projections a quarter of the way in. This is still so early. Everybody's starting to still figuring everything out. But give me a guess. I'll give you a 5, spots in the standings range. Bottom 5 between last 5th and 10th place, between 10th and 15th place. Right now, where you project us to finish?
I'm going to say we finish right there. I'm going to say we finish 10th. We picked 10th overall. I'm going to say we will just make the cutoff. Who's worse than us? Who's going to be worse than us? St. Louis, maybe. The Islanders. I think we can beat out 10 of those. I think we can beat out some of those teams. I'm saying the Flames finish 22nd overall, right where the Oilers are right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. Next week, we have the Kings, the Canucks, and the Predators. Ooh, the Predators are off to a terrible start.
Yeah, they're nasty. They're so bad. Barrie Trotz is like threatening them with a rebuild. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to say the R word, eh?
He's not.
He's like, straighten this out or we're rebuilding.
Okay, man. Closing thoughts here. Anybody else want to say something in the chat? We can throw up there real quick.
Yeah, good game. Like you said, like I think, what else can the Flames do? They're playing decently entertaining hockey. You just want to see I just want to see more. I just want to see some of these kids. Like I know Coronato played a lot tonight and Zeri played a lot tonight too, but you just kind of want to see some of these kids in there. Just a little bit more. I wouldn't even mind a little call up here. Get Rory Cairns up here. Maybe see Pelche soon. I think that's what the Flames maybe need. They're lacking a little bit of juice right now. We need a kick in the ass. We need an infusion of a little bit more youthful exuberance. So
worked last year, and
it worked great last year.
Currently, your best player is Matthew Coronato, so looks like it's still working.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one.